Hello all and welcome to another pickups video, and this is pickups video number 4. So obviously in this video is everything I've picked up since the last numbered pickups video, but it's also everything that was not included in a haul that got its own video. So what have we got for you today? Well, we have got a PSP game, we've got a PS1 game, PS3 game, PS4 game. We have also a Nintendo DS game. There's obviously plenty of Xbox 360 stuff. I am going for the full set, so there's always going to be plenty of that. And there's an original Xbox game too. So the stuff is all from either CEX, plenty of charity shop purchases, and the odd purchase from eBay. And that brings me on to the game that you've been staring at while I've been talking to you from the start. And that's Prototype 2 Limited Edition with a slipcase. Yes, Eddie at Rollercore, you've got me obsessed with collecting these too. And to be honest with you, this actually should have made the last video. It took far too long for the seller to sell it. It was about 3.5 weeks. And the funny story behind this one is I literally finished recording pickups video number 3. 5 seconds later, after hitting the stop button, there was a bang on the floor, and it was the parcel including this. I basically won this for a £1.70 bid with £1.50 postage, which I thought was reasonable. As I say, it had a slipcase, so it really tempted and sort of teased me into buying it. So from there, we're going to go into a Stortford day out, and then we've got a Harlow day out after that, and then a second Stortford day out, and then we've got to wrap things up with a couple of other eBay purchases. So let's start on with day 1 in Bishop Stortford, and the first thing I picked up from there was super cheap, and it was from a charity shop that does all their mixed media, as they call it, for 50p. And what was really gutting about that visit is I was walking in, and there were two guys walking away from that section, and they had a copy of Fallout 3 in their hand, which I've got, but has decent trading, especially when you're only picking it up for 50p, and had an Xbox One game. I couldn't see what that was. I hope it was a FIFA game. If it was anything else, I'm absolutely gutted to be missed. Yeah, I felt like turning around and walking out. I thought there was going to be nothing decent there, but I went back, I had a look, I had a copy of Borderlands, as you see, and the good thing about this is it's absolutely minty inside. The manual is brilliant. The disc is also scratch-free. I also always check discs when I'm in charity shops now to make sure A, they're the right one, and B, they're not scratched up to high heaven, so they'll work properly. I own this digitally, so it's nice to have a copy of this game physically. It is well worth 50p. So we moved on to our next charity shop in that town, and we got 4 games from there. We've got 3 Xbox 360 games. Shock. The first one being a gold edition of Resident Evil 5, which I'm very pleased with. I actually nearly bought this when I was visiting my sister in Birmingham for £4, but the local shop I went to didn't take card, and then I went to the machine across the road and it had no money. I said, sorry mate, I'm going to have to leave it. I don't mean to mess you around or anything, but I haven't got the cash, and my sister's 15-20 minute walk away, so it's a long cycle round to go and get that just for this game. I'm really sorry. But anyway, luck be it, this then turned up in a local charity shop to mine, a nice complete in-box version of the game. Also in that shop is a game I do actually already own, but the copy that I own has a bit of a beat up box and no manual. So when I saw Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars for £2.99, I thought it was worth it. It's about £1 saving of what CEX would charge me, so I was happy to purchase that. And then finally, it's missing its price tag on it. I did ask them, is this one also £2.99? They said yes, and that's Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition. That was also complete in box with 2 discs, collection of discs. They're both there. Obviously, they're both in fantastic condition, those discs. We've got a manual. I mean, we've got a bit of a crease there, but, you know, that's not a problem. I get the feeling that this is missing some kind of slipcase. I don't think it's always the case, but generally if there's no barcode on the back, it means there was a slipcase and the barcode was on that potentially. But I do get the feeling I've seen a collector's edition of this game, and it does have a slipcase. Anyway, there are 3 Xbox 360 games I got from there, and then the last one I got, I thought I actually might have it because I did have it back in the day when I had my PS1, and I picked up a copy of WWF Warzone for £2.99. Again, we don't see PlayStation 1 games out in the world very much anymore. So when I saw that sitting there, they actually had a copy of Buster Move 2 there as well, but I did my disc check. That was absolutely scratched to high hell. It had no front inlay, and it had a manual which is absolutely beaten up as well. Anyway, I did actually think I had this because when I had my PS1 and I had a bunch of games, that was the wrestling game that I had. Why didn't I have SmackDown? I don't know, but that was the game I had, so I thought I actually might have this because I have the box of ones that I didn't sell because I sold a lot of games and my PS1, regrettably, well, I'm only saying that nowadays, so that I could then buy my next console, which was a Dreamcast. So I thought I might have it, and I thought, you're not going to forget what PS1 games you have, and I did. So I'm going to have to actually catalogue the small collection I have there. But anyway, we do have a Warzone, and we do have a manual, and we do have a disc there, and that disc has some very, very minor surface scratches, but that will play. I am very confident of that. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is I'm now picking up a lot of horror films to make some artwork on the wall with some DVD covers. Do not worry, they will not be damaged. I went into Oxfam with the intention of obviously hoping to pick up a game, but just picked up a quick copy of Saw 3, which I don't have in DVD format. I quickly moved on from there to CEX in Stortford. I had a quick pop in there. Yes, I did add to the horror movie thing again with the Blu-ray version of Saw 3 for not a lot of money, as you'll see. But the game that I picked up while I was in there was just like, sod it, I really want this. So I picked up a copy of Lollipop Chainsaw for £4, as I say, with CEX. And instead of playing the Lost, you've seen that they've got manuals. If I'm randomly searching for a game I fancy, I then sort of see if it's in the box, and that way I know I'm going to get it rather than take the gamble of it being behind the counter. And this is, again, one of the world's thinnest manuals. It's literally 4 pages, but it's in there. It's a good copy of the game. It's a game I actually want to play. And yes, I'm going to get that 10G achievement, which will shame your profile, but I don't care, because if you give me gamer score for something, I will do it. And then finally, this isn't actually from my trip out. This is actually the bottom of this pile for some reason, but let's show it now for you. It is one of the eBay purchases, and that was just quickly picking up a copy of Gears of War in this box format, because I don't have this box format for it. I think it's now my 5th box format of Gears of War 1. But it was just an absolute fantastic condition. I love it when sellers actually display everything. They put the disc out, they put the manual out, and all that sort of stuff. It was only £1 with about £1 delivery as well. It was nothing. So it's just nice to have a reliable copy and not take the CEX gamble of hopefully getting a manual, hopefully getting the right disc and all that sort of such. So I just bought it because I wanted it. So £1 with about £1 delivery, or was it £1.50? Can't remember. Again, not expensive at all, and going straight into the Gears of War collection. So we finished up with the first trip to Stortford and throwing an eBay one in there for you, and we're going to move on to my trip to Harlow Town. So my clearance of games, Xbox 360 sales stuff, shall we say, has become well known amongst the little community that we've got going on here, and it went from 26 to 44 to putting 9 in the last video to putting 1 game in this video. Yes, there's no new stuff coming in, and it's been proper pilfered, and most of that was down to me. So anyway, they did have one more game that I picked up there. It's actually one I've already got, but I have a different box variant of it, and also it trades in for about £4 at CEX. So do I want to keep the box variant, or do I want to trade it in? That's a decision I will have to make. But we have a receipt for that just to prove I did pay 99p for it somewhere. There we go. Ignore the price on the top. 99p for it. They did charge me 10p for that bag. And the other game that I got, if you saw it on the receipt, I don't know, was they had a box of disc-only games on the counter. I flicked through them all thinking, if there's any there, because they were only 25p each for the 360, I'll just pick one up if it's got a manual, because then I may be able to complete a box set later if there's a manual missing. So I've just picked up the only game I don't own, and that was Armour Core Verdict Day. Nothing I know about that at all. So yes, 25p of that was fine. So that was it from game. I was going to say, I'm done with them now by the looks of it. I don't really have a lot of reason to go in there, except if I want to buy a brand new game, or perhaps just look at the Xbox One pre-owned stuff from time to time. It looks like my days of robbing them of 360 stuff is now done. So we hit a charity shop before we went to CX, or we hit multiple charity shops, but only really had success with the one, and that was the one that I got Dead or Alive Ultimate for. Got a little bit of a bonus with this one. I've done my research. There should only be 2 discs in there, so can you guess what the bonus is by me saying that? But Dead or Alive Ultimate, again, I don't have an original Xbox that I can actually play. This is a one day, but there's so much ahead of it, I don't know. But I like my beat 'em ups, and this one is going to go into my collection anyway now. But Dead or Alive Ultimate, it's supposed to have 2 discs in. It's got this manual here which flips. So we've got Dead or Alive 1 Ultimate, and Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. So we've got that manual there, and obviously you've got the discs to go with it. He says we've got Dead or Alive Ultimate 1, disc is in great condition. Dead or Alive 2, disc is in great condition. And for some reason, behind that, we've got Dead or Alive 3 on the Classics disc, which isn't supposed to be in there. but it is. So, however, that disc is absolutely scratched to, yes, profanity word. So, if it plays, I don't know. One day I will find out, but these two are fine. So, as long as these two are fine, then I'm fine with my purchase. Did look on CEX, I think they sell this for £4. So I didn't make much of a saving, but I don't know. Original Xbox experts, do you see this out in the wild much, as we say? That would be interesting to know. So, on from there, didn't make a visit to CEX before I leave. I always make a visit to CEX whenever I go and there's one nearby. And I did add a more unusual movie to my Saw collection. And that was because they had the UMD version for the PSP of Saw 2. So I nabbed that for just 50p. And then I did leave with 2 games. I tend to hunt something odd that's quite cheap when I'm in there to add to the collection. It's kind of a little side hobby of mine within this hobby that we have. And the one I went for was Hunted the Demon's Forge. Again, I was going to say, I always try to make sure they've got manuals when they're on the shelf before I even take them to the counter. So we have that, and that's my receipt from the days is in there. So yes, Hunted the Demon's Forge for just £1.50. And then a game that has many games within its franchise, and I've never ever played one of them. But I picked the box up, and I could feel the manual was in there because it was quite weighty and it was quite cheap. So I have a Leisure Suit Larry game. Leisure Suit Larry box office bust, only £2. And as I say, I could feel the manual was in there. And also I did open it up and have a quick look at it, and that is nice and minty in there. So very pleased with that. And the disc is in fantastic condition. I always check that before I leave, in case I say, oh, look at this, I need a refund. But basically, yes, there are my 2 purchases from CEX in that visit to Harlow. So we have the second visit to Stortford coming up now. And the first one is a charity shop purchase, and it's the Nintendo DS game. So I go in this charity shop a lot. They very rarely turn up anything, and a lot of it is kind of heavy price when it comes to second hand. I mean, sometimes put £4 on a FIFA game and things like that. But I saw this there, Cartoon Network Racing. It is complete, inboxed with manual. And the price I had on it was £3. I got my phone out quickly, had a look at CEX values. CEX will only give £2 trading. I say only because it's less than the marked up price, but they sell it for £5. And I thought, you know what, I've got nothing on my DS that I'd want to play. And I don't mind playing a knockoff car race. I find them quite fun, actually. Anyway, when I was picked this up off the shelf, on the shelves it did actually say that all CDs and DVDs were 50% off. But I thought, oh, this is a game, it doesn't count. But I'm happy to pay the price. Went up to the counter and the lady said, oh, where did you get that from? And I pointed, I said, over there, just below the music, DVDs and CDs. And she said, oh, is that in the sale? Come and show me where you got it from. So I went over there, and I even said to her, I said, I don't think it's in the sale, I think it's in the game. So she said, no, it's in this section, so it must be in the sale, 50% off. So I then went from not potentially making a profit of the trading value from CX to actually making a profit on the trading value of CX. So we have the receipt inside just to show you. She then took 50% off and charged me £1.50 for it. So I've totally won out on that in the end. And I'm going to give it a little go. I doubt this is one that I'll be keeping. So yes, that will be sold on or traded in at some point after I've had a go. Next up is my charity shop, which was, unfortunately, I was a tiny bit late for. I went there again. And they had a different kind of sale on this time. Last time I went there, it was all mixed media, 3 for £1 or 50p each. Now it was basically buy one, get one free, 50p for everything. So, I was going to say, sometimes you just have to pick up the common games. And I picked these up because they were absolutely in fantastic condition. So I got a copy of Connect Sports. Again, like I say, the manual is minty. It's got all these little extra bits behind it too. The disc is in absolutely 100% scratch free, like it's never been played, brand new condition. So well happy with that. So that was, well, one of the the 25 pence each. Next up is Assassin's Creed. Now, this did actually turn up my auction lot for £21.38. However, the disc was scratched to high hell, and when I tested it, it wouldn't play. So it ended up becoming a box replacement for something else and being thrown away. I've got the manual upstairs in case I ever needed one. However, I don't, because must have come from the same owner that had that Connect Sports, because it's absolute fantastic condition. And I'll tell you what, here's one for Retro Bear, because he loves to find old receipts in games. I did find one in this, and I've found all the details I want to, so I'm in an hour for ages looking around from it. This was bought from Zavi in Oxford Street. They paid £37 for it, and they paid that amount on the 1st of the 3rd 2007. So that receipt has survived all this time in that box, and I'm even going to pop it back in there for nostalgia, because hey, why not? So those two technically cost two for £1. The next one I picked up was the PS3 game, and that was Need for Speed Undercover. And again, this is in fantastic condition as well. Manual, disc, 100% scratch-free disc, a little bit of extras behind it. However, I do own this for the 360, and I am collecting for that. And I'm only going to be buying games that I want for this, rather than and then collect for the PS3 when I finally get that PS3. So this will be traded in. It has a trading value of £1.20. So when you think I paid £1 for these 4 games, the one will come in a second, which is a little bit of a bust, I'm going to trade that in with my current trading pile and make technically out 20 pence out of this. So these 3 are free plus some. However, the bust a little bit is, and I ummed and ahed and put it back, and then I went, no, you might regret that, just pick it up because of the cover. You'll see why. I picked up this PSP game, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. I thought I may be able to clean that off. I haven't tried yet. I can't see that being done without ruining the cover. But it has a £3 trade at CEX. I thought I'd give it a try. However, to open it up, no manual. I mean, I know CEX didn't care about that, but what I didn't notice at the time is we've got cracks here. So I need to find a way of testing this before I do anything with this. I'm one of those that just can't give away a dud game or try and make off a dud game. But if it works, then we might be able to do something with it. I might just give it away though. But anyway, these 4 games actually only cost £1 in the end because of their new promotion. So there were actually Xbox One and PS4 games in there as well. Again this time, but they were all FIFA games. So I left the one Xbox One game behind, which was FIFA 15. Anyway, next final charity shop purchase from that day out in Stortford. And the final purchase from that day out at Stortford, I did go to CEX, but I didn't actually get anything, which must be the first time in absolute months. I'm showing a bit of self-control now. Anyway, that CEX had a couple of CEX on the mind. That charity shop had 2 Xbox 360 games for me. One I own digitally, and that is Formula 1 2013. Is it top heavy at £1.49? Potentially, but it was the complete edition. And again, I said I don't mind paying for condition. We have an absolute mint manual there. And the disc is in absolute fantastic condition as well. I say I own it digitally. I think it was Part Games with Gold once upon a time. So just nice to have that in the collection when it's the complete edition. So £1.49, happy to pay that. The next one is a £2.99 purchase. This charity shop has a habit of putting £2.99 on a lot of their games. And it is Test Drive, and I looked up the CEX price, and this is actually 49p over what CEX would charge. But again, you do not mind paying for quality. If it gets you, unfortunately, a tiny bit of damage to the manual, but it's got the map in there as well. So for a little bit of guarantee with good quality disc, a manual and a map in a box that's bulging to shut because of it, might be why that's happened there, I do not mind paying an extra 49 pence for that. And then finally, the last purchase from that charity shop is a copy of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare for the PS4. This is pure CEX trade fodder. As you'll see, price tag on this £4.99, which is quite steep. So I was like, is it even worth looking up? It's always worth looking up. So had a quick check. It has an £8 trading value at CEX, and they sell it for 12. So I can get an extra £3 out of this, which I think is viable. My aim is when I get that PS3 fully back compat, which they now sell for 95, is to basically have spent half of that and gained the other half through trading value. So it's not quite half, but it's close enough. There's other stuff that's well under half that will balance it out. So if I can get my PS3 for around about 45 quid, shall we say, I'll be well happy with the trade in value of that. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple more eBay purchases to finalise everything that I picked up in this video. And we have slipcover time again, and this one is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it's a WWE game. It's WWE 12 People's Edition, and I watched this to the very end. Slightly funny story. I made a mental note of when this was ending, and this was ending while I was out in that second day out in Stortford. And I thought to myself, yeah, keep an eye on that. If it goes too high, maybe leave it. Temptation, I was never going to leave it. Anyway, I suddenly panicked, and I was like, yeah, it ends around about 12:30, and 12:30 came, and I'm like, oh my God, what have you done? And I literally opened up the phone, opened up the app, and straight into it. It was like 25 seconds to go, no bids, 99p. And I panicked, and I was like, sugar. Nearly swore there. Don't swear on camera, Roberts. And I was like, damn it, right, okay, just hit anything. And luckily enough, the app now has easy press buttons with bids, and I just hit the £4 button, and then I was like, accept, and like that. Anyway, turns out someone else must have been snipering as well, because I didn't get it for 99p. I got it for £1.20. So they must have put in a bid of £1 or something like that. So I'm very happy to pick this up for £1.20 with £1.50 delivery, because in the photo he'd actually broken everything down and split it all up. So I knew it was a slipcase game. Yep, Eddie, blaming you again. But I'm loving it. It's not. Don't feel bad. I'm loving it. But anyway, slipcase. Obviously, if it comes off, it doesn't work. It's fighting back. So we have the slipcase for it. We have an excellent condition box, as they had everything split down. Obviously, you've got the bonus disc in there, which I might actually watch. I do like watching my wrestling still, even though I'm 37. I've never really grown out of it. Obviously, game disc, again, mints. Manual. The one thing I don't understand is, and I've looked it up, this is how it comes. Why do we have the People's Edition, and did they not go to the effort of making its own manual and its own disc and have Mr. Rock on there as well? But anyway, so we've got manual, but what we also have in there, we still have, which surprised me, which is fantastic, the Topps trading card, and this other card here. Not a postcard, it's just completely blank on the back, but this other card here with Mr. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on it. So that was fantastic. Going by, looking at the back and researching, the only thing that's missing, there's meant to be another sheet of paper in here with the download code for being The Rock. So that is missing. But to have the card and that postcard in there, which is missing, it's not a postcard, but have that card in there that's missing from a lot of these that I see, or the very few that I've seen, to be honest with you, I am well pleased for it to turn up like this. Yeah, I mean, the slipcase has a few minor dings and scratches, but second-hand games do when it comes to slipcases. So if we can get this back on, that'd be nice. Or shall I just throw it out the side and get on with the next thing? But no, we got it back on. So that, I'm really pleased with that, actually. That is a fantastic item to have, especially, as I say, again, with those cards in it. Now, the last item is, actually, I watched it twice before then actually messaging the seller. And I've been keeping an eye on these. And these are U-Draw tablets. And to be honest with you, it's just one of those things. I thought it's a piece of hardware that one day I'd like to own. And every time I look it up on eBay, they're sort of like £12 to £15, either just the tablet or with just one game. This one was actually listed and pictured with 2 games boxed and 1 game loose with disc and manual. And the first time around, I think they wanted 15. And I thought, not paying that, but let's just see if it goes. And it didn't. They then relisted it. By the way, I'm quoting prices here, including delivery. So it was £15 including delivery. And then they relisted it again, and it was £11 including delivery. And I was like, I might watch that to the end and then actually buy it. This time I wasn't so sharp, and I missed it. And I said that's probably for the best thing. I wanted it to go for £10. I wanted it for £10 all in. So I was umming and ahhing over £1. But anyway, it ended, no bids again. They told me that, so I messaged the seller, look, I will offer you £10 delivered all in. And she messaged me back saying, yes, I will accept your offer. I've listed it, buy it now, £10 with no postage. So yeah, we came to a deal, and I bought myself a U-Draw tablet. And that came with, as I say, 3 games, 2 boxed. Pictionary Ultimate Edition. There we go, boxed with manual. The other one has got the loose game in it, so let's try not to drop that, because that's bound to have fallen off the spindle. No, it hasn't. So there it goes. We have U-Draw Studio Instant Artist. That is complete in box with manual, and there's the instructions for the U-Draw. As I say, we've got a disc copy of this. We've got the manual for it, so it's missing a box. So if I pick up a copy of this and it has no manual, at least I have that, and then I'll have a disc-only copy of this, and you need the U-Draw tablet, so God knows what I'll do with that. But anyway, so yes, I paid £10 for all of that. I've yet to test it. The U-Draw tablet takes 3 AA batteries. It's nothing, there's no wire to plug in with it at all. So yeah, I'm happy with that little purchase. Let's say it's a little bit of interesting hardware that I actually wanted. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all the pickups. The quick couple of shout outs I'd like to make, just very, very quickly. Now, if you're into funny reviews, I've got 2 people that you should check out. One is Sorax Space, and the other is Tamaracade. They are both fantastic at what they do. I mean, they do more than funny reviews, but for me personally, that is my highlight from their channels, and I love them so much. So check out Sorax Space. He's done a whole list of them. I believe he's releasing another one very soon to do with the Master System game. Cheeky Devil hasn't told us what it is yet, but that's coming up real soon. And the list of funny reviews, they are brilliant. The guy's comedy is absolutely bang on. It has me stitches every time. I think my personal favourite was Sonic and the Secret Rings one he did, but there were plenty of others as well that were notable that stick out in my mind, like the Pit Fighter one, the Weakest Link one. And yes, just check out his channel and hit those funny reviews and everything. Criminally, been on YouTube for so long, put so much work into his videos, criminally has somehow not made the 1,000 subscriber mark yet. So check him out, hit him a sub. He deserves it for the work he puts in. And the other one, obviously, Tamaracade, like I said to you before, she's recently passed 200 subs. She's nearly at 2,500 views. I saw a tweet the other day that she made, probably has hit that now. So go check her out. Again, her funny reviews are brilliant as well. Does do other stuff as well. But the funny reviews, I discovered her by seeing her Shinobi for the Game Gear review pop up on my suggested. But the one that really done it for me was your Clockwork Knight review. Honestly, that is hilarious. I think I've watched it 3 or 4 times since. In fact, when I saw your tweet about wanting more views, I watched it again. Seriously, it's a great view. And then finally, another shout out I want to make, which I actually forgot to say in the other video. As I say, I'm starting to collect horror movies as well and showing them off within the videos as a little side thing. And that is Andrew Ballina. He has been very vocal in my comments section and very, very supportive of my channel as well. He is also into horror movies. See, I was going to link the two up, and I still forgot you. Sorry, mate. I really am sorry. But yeah, check his channel out if you like gaming pickups and you like horror movies, or like one or the other. If you like me and like both, it's the perfect channel. Brilliant channel. So yeah, check Andrew Ballina out as well. I'm going to put links to all 3 of those channels in the description. I probably forgot someone else. If I have, I'm sorry. I will shout you out in the next video. But ladies and gentlemen, that is pickups video number 4 now in the history books. And I would just like to say, if you've seen anything that I should play first, if you what's the best deal I got, anything like that, comment section below. And then I think, again, that just leaves me to say thank you for watching. Always thank you for watching. Appreciate it so much. But finally, as always, take care.